Welcome again to Wickerson Studios. My name is Michael Wickerson, and I am going to try and show in a nutshell, and for a reason being that I'm not sure if the nutshell's Kansas. I don't know if it's my household with 3 kids making a ton of noise, but I've just shoved them out in the snow or close to it, or my head might be that nutshell. But what I'm trying to do here in Grasshopper is move away from even the ribbon tools that are provided and start to translate them independently, like this one, which is a endpoint, find endpoints on a curve node, which is done in C. This is one that's a range tool that's done in C. This is a more complex creating sine wave geometry, which I got from the Warsaw University. And this is a very complicated de Castillo, I hope I said it right, interpolated Bezier curve script with a few scripts, and then obviously still dependent upon the variable pipe, which I haven't found scripted in another way, and I certainly haven't figured it out for myself yet. And the graph mapper, I think it's possible for me to figure those things out. This is all designed from this very nice curve that's been lofted together. Pretty nice, the endpoints to that, the range through that, certainly throwing it through this algorithm, which I absolutely love, and then the variable pipe tool to create this kind of spine geometry bridge. I think it's very unique and wonderful. What I want to share is that I'm pulling this from a barrage of, like, these have all, I'm starting to get organized under A, B, C, D, E. I've got to get my head around these, but there's no point trying to organize something I don't know what's the most popular, common, or frequent nodes to use. So what I like is once I put them up here as a user object, I can just double click and then take B and underscore. That's going to give me everything that I have B underscored, which I like. And if I go in here and I type, say, methods for methods underscore, that's going to give me all the methods. It's nice that it's not case sensitive. So yeah, so I can run through those and see what I want to do. They seem a little disorganized in the number. Maybe it's because it goes alpha. I'm not sure why it decides to give them to me in that order. Anyway, so I can start to bring in half dozen nodes at most to start. Maybe I'll get to a dozen, which is where I like my Grasshopper scripts to extend. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm learning alongside Jose Luis's tutorials. And his C tutorials are great, his visual script tutorials are great, but here's an example of one of his. And this is the first one he's done, and it's a little bigger here, but you can see generating. He's done a memorial to the Holocaust Memorial in Berlin, and he's tucked it all within this node. But what I really caught was at the end of his lecture, at 1 hour and 13 minutes in, he says, you know, there's discussion over whether this should be a bunch of small nodes, like the way I was just showing on my other script, a bunch of small nodes clustered together on the graph, on the canvas, so I can see where I can interplay and jump in and visualize it and start and stop and debug a script, or should it be one that you go in and it's completely scripted. Now, when you see this one completely scripted, and I'll shrink it down, you can see that that's very, very close, if not exact, but very, very close with a shift to Grasshopper from what you'd be writing in Visual Script. So in the same breath, I'm sitting here trying to learn Visual Script Studio as best I can from the same tutorials and videos. Now, Jose Luis started this. He's got a community. I haven't met him up personally online yet, even though I recognize some of the people talking to him. Very excited to get to know him better. And ask questions about what is the direction of this, because here's an example of the MyScript plugin, which is given you through Rhino. Like, you can open Visual Script Studio and have this template right there for you, and it is not hard to figure out if you have any sensibility to this. So you start naming things. Of course, I have the idea to do a half man, half beaver plugin, playing with the animal name, find some sculptures, be artistic through it, build an online gallery. I mean, let other people create from the forums. I'm not looking to optimize or make this generative or specific to any particular craft or field. I basically just want to do it for myself creatively as an artist. And of course, I'm a teacher in an art school, so this is all inspirational. And COVID-19 has taught us how to adapt and manipulate and find out a new direction for the school. We're certainly on the computers more than we ever have been as a set of sculptors, and it's an undergrad school. So to put this in place at this point means we're going to be turning out some pretty amazing students to go off to grad studies and computational studies, at least in my opinion, in the next 3 to 5 years. So there you go. You got a breakdown, and you can see right in there, that little area there, and I think I could shrink it, is there's the, what is it called, the runtime script that's basically going to jump in there and give you the little script to do, I think, a spiral. Well, I can translate small portions of that into that, but I think if I decide to go the route of what Jose Luis has done here, and he's even questioning and talking about those as an option, to put it all into one node, well, then I guess I would put it into a Visual Script Studio and I would make it a plugin. But as for right now, I'm very much stuck in this mode in learning, having fun developing that. You can see my scale's a little off, and I learned that from ARA scale. It's all about scale. So